Chapter 1 Whispers at the Edge. The village of Willowbrook nestled comfortably at the foot of the Whispering Woods, where stories of enchantment and mystery swirled as freely as the wind through the ancient oaks. It was a place where time seemed to pause, allowing its residents to bask in the simplicity of life and the beauty of nature. On this particular sunny afternoon, two figures moved energetically along the edge of the woods, their laughter echoing like a melody carried by the breeze. Lily, with her bright eyes and untamed curls, was the first to spot the butterfly. "Max, look!" she exclaimed, pointing towards the fluttering creature that danced on the air like a splash of color against the verdant backdrop. Max, ever curious and just as spirited, adjusted his glasses and grinned. "Let's see where it leads us," he replied, his voice filled with the kind of excitement only childhood can muster. Their chase began in earnest, weaving between the tall grasses and wildflowers that bordered the woods. As they ran, their playful banter painted a vivid picture of their friendship, one built on shared adventures and boundless imagination. "Do you think it's leading us to a secret world?" Lily asked, her voice tinged with wonder. Max shrugged, his expression thoughtful. "Maybe it knows something we don't. Maybe it's showing us the way to something magical." The butterfly led them deeper into the shadows of the trees until it vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. Breathless but exhilarated, Lily and Max paused to catch their breath. It was then that they first heard it, a soft murmur, like a chorus of whispers carried on the wind. The sound seemed to emanate from the very heart of the forest. "Did you hear that?" Max asked, his eyes wide with intrigue. Lily nodded, her curiosity piqued. "It's like the trees are talking." They stood in silence for a moment, straining to make sense of the whispers. Words drifted in and out of clarity, teasing them with fragments that spoke of a hidden treasure deep within the woods. "We have to find out more," Lily declared with determination. Max agreed, his own adventurous spirit ignited. "But where do we start?" The answer came in the form of Granny Hazel, a beloved figure in Willowbrook known for her wisdom and tales of old. They found her sitting on her porch, knitting with yarn as colorful as her stories. "Granny Hazel," Lily began eagerly, "we heard something strange in the woods today. The trees were whispering about a treasure." Granny Hazel's eyes twinkled with a knowing smile. "Ah, the Whispering Woods have many secrets," she said, her voice warm and inviting, "and those who listen closely may uncover them." "But how do we find this treasure?" Max asked, leaning forward in anticipation. Granny Hazel set her knitting aside and leaned back in her chair, thoughtful. "The woods are like an old friend," she began, her gaze distant as if peering into another time. "They hold their secrets close but share them with those who show courage and kindness." Lily exchanged a glance with Max, both understanding that this was no ordinary tale. "What should we do?" Lily pressed gently. "Follow your hearts," Granny Hazel advised. "The path is never clear at first, but with friendship and bravery, you'll find your way." The words lingered in the air long after they left Granny Hazel's porch. As Lily and Max walked home under the setting sun, they felt a new sense of purpose kindling within them. The Whispering Woods had spoken, and now it was up to them to listen. That night, as stars sprinkled across the sky like diamonds on velvet, Lily lay awake, pondering Granny Hazel's words. Her room was awash in moonlight, shadows dancing across the walls like echoes of their earlier adventure. She knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges and discoveries, but felt certain that with Max by her side, they could unravel any mystery. In his own room across town, Max stared at his ceiling, replaying the day's events in his mind. The promise of treasure and adventure buzzed through him like an electric current. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something extraordinary. As dawn broke over Willowbrook, painting the village in hues of gold and amber, two young adventurers prepared to embark on a journey that would test their courage and deepen their friendship in ways they could never have imagined. The Whispering Woods awaited them, a realm of secrets and stories just waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to seek them. Thus began their quest, an enchanting odyssey into a world where whispers held truths untold and where every step brought them closer to uncovering what lay hidden within the heart of the forest. Chapter 2 Into the Whispering Woods. The morning sun filtered through Lily's curtains, casting a warm glow across her room. She sprang out of bed with a sense of anticipation that made her heart race. Today was the day they would venture deeper into the Whispering Woods, driven by the whispers and Granny Hazel's cryptic advice. After a quick breakfast, she donned her favorite red jacket and grabbed her backpack, filled with essentials for their journey: a flashlight, snacks, and a notebook to jot down any clues they might find. Max was already waiting at their usual meeting spot, a weathered stone bench at the edge of the woods. His backpack was slung over one shoulder, and he was fiddling with his glasses, a familiar habit when he was excited or nervous. "Ready for an adventure?" he called out as Lily approached. "Absolutely," she replied, her voice brimming with determination. "Let's see what secrets the Whispering Woods have for us today." As they stepped into the forest, the air seemed to hum with energy. The towering trees formed a cathedral-like canopy overhead, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. Sunlight dappled the forest floor, creating patterns that shifted and danced as if alive. "We should keep our eyes and ears open," Max suggested, his gaze scanning the surroundings. "Granny Hazel said the woods share their secrets with those who listen closely." Lily nodded, her senses heightened. Every rustle of leaves and distant bird calls seemed significant. They followed a narrow path that wound deeper into the woods, where the shadows grew longer and the air cooler. Their exploration led them to a small clearing where a majestic owl perched on a low branch. Its feathers were a blend of earthy browns and soft whites, and its eyes gleamed with intelligence. The owl regarded them with a solemn expression before speaking in a voice that was both deep and melodic. "Seekers of secrets, you have come far," it intoned. Lily and Max exchanged astonished glances before Max found his voice. "Are you talking to us?" The owl nodded slowly. "I am Oliver, keeper of riddles and guardian of this part of the woods. Your journey has just begun, and I offer you guidance." "What kind of guidance?" Lily asked, stepping closer. Oliver's eyes twinkled with mystery. "A riddle for you to ponder. In the heart of the forest lies what you seek, but beware the shadows that silently creep." Max pulled out his notebook, scribbling down the owl's words. "What does it mean?" he wondered aloud. The owl fluffed its feathers, preparing to take flight. "In time, all will be revealed," it said enigmatically before soaring into the sky, disappearing among the branches. The encounter left Lily and Max both intrigued and slightly unnerved. They continued along the path, discussing Oliver's riddle and speculating about its meaning. As they ventured further, the forest grew denser, the trees standing like ancient sentinels guarding their secrets. It wasn't long before they felt a shift in the atmosphere, a subtle tension that prickled their skin. The light dimmed as clouds gathered overhead, casting eerie shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. "Do you feel that?" Lily whispered, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. Max nodded, his expression serious. "It's like we're being watched." Suddenly, a dark shape flickered at the edge of their vision, an indistinct figure that melted into the shadows as quickly as it appeared. Both children froze, their hearts pounding in unison. "Did you see that?" Max asked, his voice tight with apprehension. Lily nodded again, swallowing hard. "We should keep moving," she suggested, though her tone was uncertain. They pressed on, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling of being observed. Their conversation turned to lighter topics in an attempt to distract themselves. Favorite books, school projects, but the shadowy figure lingered in their minds like an unsolved puzzle. As dusk began to fall, casting long shadows across their path, Lily and Max found themselves at a crossroads in the woods. The path split into two directions, one leading deeper into darkness and another towards a faint glimmer of light. "What do we do now?" Max asked, looking between the two paths. Lily considered their options carefully. "The light might be safer," she reasoned, "but maybe what we're looking for is hidden in the darker path." Max hesitated before nodding in agreement. "Let's take the darker path," he decided finally. "We came here for answers." With renewed determination and a shared sense of purpose, they chose the shadowed path. The forest closed in around them, each step echoing with uncertainty, yet also with excitement for what lay ahead. As they disappeared into the heart of the Whispering Woods, leaving behind only whispers of their own courage and camaraderie, they knew this was just the beginning of their adventure, a journey filled with riddles, shadows, and secrets waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek them out. Chapter 3. A Puzzle in the Pines. The Whispering Woods had an uncanny way of shifting moods with each step Lily and Max took deeper into its embrace. The air grew cooler, and the scent of pine mixed with the earthy aroma of damp leaves. They walked in silence for a while, each lost in thoughts sparked by Oliver's riddle and the shadowy figure that seemed to trail them like a persistent echo. Eventually, the path opened into a sunlit clearing, a welcome reprieve from the dense thicket. The ground was littered with acorns, scattered like tiny treasures across the forest floor. In the center stood a squirrel, its fur a vibrant chestnut that glinted in the sunlight. It darted about with an energy that seemed boundless, stopping abruptly to gaze at them with bright, mischievous eyes. Well, what do we have here?" the squirrel chattered, its voice sharp and playful. "Visitors seeking secrets and riddles, no doubt." Lily and Max exchanged surprised glances before stepping forward. "Are you nutty?" Lily asked tentatively, recalling Granny Hazel's tales of a clever squirrel known for his love of puzzles. The squirrel nodded vigorously, scampering closer. "Indeed I am. Nutty, the great puzzle master at your service." He puffed out his chest proudly before continuing. "And I suppose you're here to solve a riddle or two?" Max adjusted his glasses, intrigued. "We are," he confirmed. "Oliver the Owl said we need to solve a riddle to get closer to the treasure." Nutty twitched his nose thoughtfully. "Ah, Oliver's riddles always lead to something interesting," he mused. "Very well. Here's one for you. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Lily and Max pondered the riddle carefully, their brows furrowed in concentration. The clearing was silent except for the gentle rustle of leaves overhead and Nutty's expectant gaze. "A whisper," Max blurted out suddenly, his eyes lighting up with realization. "It's a whisper!" Nutty clapped his tiny paws together in delight. "Correct, a whisper it is." He spun around excitedly before pointing towards a cluster of acorns arranged in an unusual pattern. "Your next clue lies within these acorns. Solve their mystery and you'll be one step closer." Lily crouched down beside the acorns, examining their arrangement closely. There were 5 acorns forming a circle with one in the center. Each outer acorn had an engraved symbol, a sun, moon, star, tree, and river. "What do you think it means?" she asked Max, who was already jotting down notes in his trusty notebook. Max tapped his chin thoughtfully. "Maybe it's about connections," he suggested. "The symbols could represent different elements of nature." Lily nodded slowly. "Like how everything in the woods is connected. Maybe we need to put them in order." They worked together, rearranging the acorns until they formed a coherent sequence. Sun leading to moon, then star, tree, and finally river. As they placed the last acorn in position, there was a faint click, followed by a soft rumble beneath their feet. From beneath the central acorn emerged a small wooden box carved with intricate designs. Inside lay a delicate map etched on parchment paper, its edges worn and faded, but the details still visible. "Look at this," Lily breathed in awe as she carefully unfolded the map. It depicted the Whispering Woods in exquisite detail, marking paths they hadn't yet explored and indicating several intriguing landmarks: a waterfall, an ancient oak grove, and what appeared to be an underground cavern. "This must be where we need to go next," Max said excitedly, tracing a finger along the map's winding routes. Nutty watched them with satisfaction. "You've done well," he praised. "Remember that every step you take brings you closer to the heart of the wood's secrets." As they prepared to leave the clearing, Nutty offered one last piece of advice. "Beware of shadows that lurk beyond sight," he warned cryptically. "Not all who wander here wish you well." With Nutty's words lingering in their minds like a gentle warning bell, Lily and Max thanked him for his help before setting off once more into the depths of the Whispering Woods. The map clutched tightly in Lily's hand seemed to pulse with possibilities, each line leading towards new discoveries waiting just beyond their reach. Yet even as they moved forward with renewed purpose and excitement for what lay ahead, they couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. A silent observer hidden among branches swaying gently overhead, or perhaps lurking within shadows cast by trees standing sentinel-like against encroaching twilight. The presence felt more pronounced now. an unseen force trailing them like an uninvited guest at their side, but instead of fear taking root within them, as it might have earlier on their journey through these enchanted woods, full of whispered promises, yet unfulfilled mysteries, beckoning them ever onward into deeper realms unknown. They pressed on regardless, undaunted by uncertainty, buoyed by friendship, forged stronger still through shared trials faced together under canopy green, where secrets slept soundly, beneath layers woven thickly over time like stories untold, waiting patiently for seekers, brave enough, daring enough, willing enough to listen closely and find truth hidden deep within woods, whispering softly secrets old as time itself. Secrets in shadows. The whispering woods loomed larger than ever as Lily and Max continued their quest, the map from Nutty guiding their steps with an almost magnetic pull. The further they ventured, the more alive the forest seemed to become, each rustle of leaves and chirp of crickets a symphony of secrets waiting to be uncovered. They navigated through dense thickets and winding paths, their eyes scanning for any sign that might lead them closer to the treasure whispered about by the trees. The map had marked several landmarks, but the one that caught their attention was a serene glade nestled deep within the forest's heart, a place they felt drawn to without understanding why. As they approached the glade, the oppressive weight of the woods lifted slightly. Sunlight broke through the canopy, casting dappled patterns on the forest floor. The air was still and calm, imbued with a sense of tranquility that was almost palpable. In the center of this peaceful clearing stood Bella the deer, her graceful form silhouetted against the light. Her eyes were gentle and knowing, as if she had been expecting them all along. She moved with an elegance that seemed to belong to another world, each step deliberate and filled with purpose. "Welcome, travelers." Bella greeted them in a voice as soft as a whisper, yet resonant with wisdom. "You have come far on your journey." Lily and Max exchanged a glance before stepping forward. "We've been following clues," Lily explained, holding up the map. "Nutty helped us find this, and we're trying to solve the mystery of the treasure." Bella nodded, her gaze thoughtful. "The forest holds many mysteries," she said, her words flowing like poetry. "But not all treasures are what they seem." Max tilted his head, intrigued. "What do you mean?" "The true treasure lies not in gold or jewels," Bella replied, her voice soothing. "It is found in understanding and harmony, in the courage to face one's fears and the strength of friendship." Her words hung in the air, resonating deeply within Lily and Max. They sat down beside Bella, feeling an inexplicable sense of comfort in her presence. The gentle rustle of leaves and distant bird calls provided a backdrop to their contemplative silence. "I think I understand," Lily said slowly. "It's not just about finding something physical, it's about what we learn along the way." Max nodded in agreement. "And how we grow together," he added, glancing at Lily with a smile. Bella inclined her head approvingly. "Precisely," she affirmed. "The woods test those who enter not just with riddles, but with challenges that reveal true character." Their conversation was interrupted by an unexpected rustling in the underbrush, a sound that shattered the glade's tranquility like a stone thrown into still water. Both children tensed, instinctively moving closer to Bella. "Do not fear," Bella murmured reassuringly, "but remain vigilant." The rustling grew louder, accompanied by a sense of unease that prickled at their senses. Shadows shifted among the trees, hinting at an unseen presence lurking just beyond their sight. "We should go," Max whispered urgently, his heart pounding with adrenaline. Lily nodded, her own instincts screaming for them to retreat. They scrambled to their feet, clutching the map tightly as they prepared to make a hasty escape. "Remember what you have learned here," Bella called after them as they turned to leave. Her voice was calm and steady amidst the growing tension. "Courage and friendship will guide you through even the darkest paths." With one last glance at Bella, Lily and Max plunged back into the woods, their footsteps quickened by the urgency of flight. The shadows seemed to close in around them, each step echoing with the reminder of unseen eyes watching from the darkness. Yet despite the fear nipping at their heels like an ever-present specter, they pressed on, driven by the knowledge that their journey was far from over and that the true treasure awaited discovery. As they ran deeper into the forest's embrace, guided by nothing more than instinct and trust in each other, they knew that whatever lay ahead would test them further still. But armed with newfound wisdom and strengthened bonds forged through shared trials, they felt ready to face whatever challenges awaited them within these enchanted woods, where whispers held truths untold, and where secrets lay hidden deep within shadows cast by ancient trees standing sentinel-like against encroaching twilight, a reminder that even amidst uncertainty, there is always light to be found when one dares to seek it out. Chapter 5. The Heart of the Forest. The Whispering Woods seemed to hum with an ancient song as Lily and Max continued their journey, guided by the map Nutty had helped them uncover. Each step deeper into the forest felt like a step closer to understanding the secrets it held. The sunlight filtered through the trees in shafts, illuminating the path ahead and casting long, mysterious shadows. They walked in companionable silence, each lost in thoughts of Bella's wisdom and the cryptic nature of their quest. Despite the lingering presence of the shadowy figure, the realization that their journey was about more than just treasure filled them with a newfound sense of purpose. The path led them to a secluded grove, where the air was sweet with the scent of blooming wildflowers. Here, ancient oaks stood tall, their branches intertwining like fingers clasped in a silent pact. In the center of this grove sat Granny Maple, her presence as reassuring as the sun-warmed earth beneath their feet. "Welcome, my dears," she greeted, her voice as soft and welcoming as a summer breeze. Her eyes twinkled with a wisdom that only time could bestow. "I've been expecting you." Lily and Max approached cautiously, curiosity mingling with respect. "Granny Maple," Max began, "we've been following clues throughout the woods. We solved riddles and met creatures who guided us here." Granny Maple nodded, gesturing for them to sit beside her on a moss-covered log. "The forest has many guardians," she explained, each with its own role to play in protecting its secrets. As they settled down, Granny Maple opened an old, leather-bound journal, its pages yellowed with age but filled with intricate notes and sketches. "This journal contains stories of the wood's past," she said, her fingers tracing over a particularly detailed drawing of the forest canopy, "and it holds the key to understanding your quest." Lily leaned closer, her eyes wide with interest. "What do you mean?" "The treasure you seek is not one of gold or jewels," Granny Maple replied, echoing Bella's earlier words. "It is knowledge and unity among all creatures of the woods, a harmony that has been disrupted by those who do not understand its value." Max frowned thoughtfully. "But why are we being followed? Who is the shadowy figure?" Granny Maple's expression grew serious. "There are those who see only what they can take from these woods, people who are blinded by greed and ambition. The figure you sense is one such person, misguided and lost in their pursuit." Lily exchanged a glance with Max, both understanding now that their adventure was about more than just solving puzzles. It was about protecting something precious. "Then what can we do?" Lily asked, her voice filled with determination. "You must show them a different path." Granny Maple advised gently. "Help them see that true wealth lies in the beauty and balance of nature." The conversation lingered between them like a gentle echo, resonating deeply within their hearts. As they absorbed Granny Maple's wisdom, they realized that their mission was not just to find a treasure, but to preserve the magic of the Whispering Woods for all who called it home. With this newfound clarity, Lily and Max rose to their feet, thanking Granny Maple for her guidance. She smiled warmly at them, her eyes shining with pride. "Go forth with courage and compassion," she encouraged, "for you are now guardians of this secret too." As they left the grove, the weight of responsibility settled on their shoulders like a cloak. Yet it was a burden they were willing to bear, one that filled them with hope and resolve. Their path took them towards a part of the forest marked on their map, a place known as the Heart of the Forest. It was said to be where all life in the woods converged, a sacred space where the whispers were loudest and most profound. As they walked, Lily and Max spoke of their plan to confront the shadowy figure, to use what they had learned to change his heart and protect the wood's secrets. Their voices mingled with the rustling leaves and birdsong, creating a melody of determination. The journey felt different now, each step imbued with purpose rather than fear. The forest seemed to respond in kind, its whispers more encouraging than ever before. When they finally reached the heart of the forest, it was as if time itself paused to honor their arrival. The clearing was bathed in golden light, every leaf shimmering like emeralds under a clear sky. Here stood an ancient oak, its trunk wide enough to shelter 10 children standing arm in arm. Its branches spread out like arms embracing all who entered this sacred place, a symbol of unity and strength. As Lily and Max stood before this majestic tree, they felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over them, a reminder that even amidst uncertainty and shadows, there is always light, and those who seek truth will find it shining brightly within their hearts, ready to guide them forward on whatever path lies ahead. The treasure unveiled. The heart of the forest was a sanctuary, a place where time seemed to stand still, allowing the whispers of the woods to resonate with clarity and purpose. Lily and Max stood in awe beneath the ancient oak, feeling its presence as a silent guardian of all that was sacred in the whispering woods. They had come far, guided by riddles and the wisdom of the forest's creatures. But now, as they stood at the center of this enchanted realm, they knew their journey was nearing its climax. The map had brought them here, but it was their hearts that would guide their next steps. "Lily," Max began, his voice a mix of excitement and trepidation, "do you think we're ready for this?" Lily looked at him, her eyes filled with determination. "We've come this far together, Max. Whatever happens next, we'll face it as we always have, side by side." As if on cue, the shadows around them seemed to shift, growing darker and more defined. From among the trees emerged the figure that had been following them, a man cloaked in shadows, his features obscured by the hood of his cloak. For a moment, silence reigned, broken only by the gentle rustle of leaves overhead. Then Lily stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her heart. "Who are you?" she asked, meeting the figure's gaze with unwavering resolve. The man hesitated before lowering his hood, revealing a face lined with age and weariness. His eyes were sharp yet haunted, as if caught between worlds. "My name is Elias," he said slowly, his voice roughened by time. "I sought the treasure of these woods for my own gain." Max exchanged a glance with Lily before speaking up. "The treasure isn't what you think," he explained gently. "It's not gold or jewels. It's something far more valuable." Elias's expression shifted from suspicion to curiosity. "What do you mean?" Lily took a deep breath, drawing strength from the ancient oak behind her. "The true treasure is the harmony and unity among all creatures here," she said passionately. "It's about understanding and preserving the magic of these woods." Elias's eyes flickered with doubt, but also something else. Hope. I thought it was something tangible," he admitted, his voice tinged with regret. "It is tangible," Max countered softly, "but not in the way you expected. It's in every whisper of the trees and every creature that calls this place home." Elias looked around, as if seeing the forest for the first time. The shadows that had clung to him seemed to lighten, revealing a man who had lost his way, but now stood on the brink of redemption. "I never realized," Elias murmured, his gaze softening. "I've spent so long chasing after things that don't matter." Lily smiled warmly, stepping closer. "It's not too late to change," she assured him. "We can protect these woods together." Elias nodded slowly, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thank you," he said simply, "for showing me what truly matters." With their newfound ally by their side, Lily and Max felt a sense of completion, a realization that their journey had not only uncovered secrets, but also healed wounds they hadn't known existed. As they left the heart of the forest, the sun began its descent, casting golden rays through the trees like a blessing upon their path. They walked with Elias back towards Willowbrook, their hearts lightened by the knowledge that they had made a difference. When they reached the village, news of their adventure spread quickly. The villagers gathered to hear tales of courage and friendship, each story woven with wonder and awe. Granny Hazel beamed with pride as she listened to Lily and Max recount their journey. "You've done well," she praised, her eyes twinkling like stars. "The Whispering Woods will always hold its secrets close, but now you are part of those secrets too." The celebration that followed was filled with laughter and joy, a testament to the strength of community and the bonds forged through shared experiences. As dusk settled over Willowbrook, Lily and Max stood at the edge of the woods once more, their hearts full of promise and peace. "We did it," Lily said softly, her voice carrying on the evening breeze. Max nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon where the sun dipped below the treetops. "And we'll keep doing it," he replied firmly. "We'll protect these woods and all they hold." Together, they turned back towards the village, leaving behind only whispers carried on the wind, echoes of an adventure that had changed them forever. The Whispering Woods would continue to guard its mysteries for those brave enough to seek them out. And Lily and Max knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, guided by friendship and the gentle whispers of nature itself.